Well, welcome back to Nittany Game Week. It is time for our Impact interview. And let me just quickly rip off some of the accomplishments for our guest this week. Big Ten MVP, Heisman finalist, Super Bowl champ, Pro Bowl running back, and now NBC Sports commentator. And if that isn't enough, you can hear him on the Get Got podcast with Marshawn Lynch. Michael Robinson, appreciate the time, man. Thanks for taking some time with us.
Thank you guys for having me, man. Sorry I haven't been on earlier, but I'm still building a career in media, and a lot of times I'm all over the place. So I appreciate you guys for having me.
Understood. A busy man. And, we felt for years that the national media doesn't really understand Penn State football, and maybe never will, either way. As a member of the national media and really one of the foremost authorities on Penn State football, you had a platform on Saturday night, and you used it to speak on behalf of the current situation. What was the message that you wanted to convey, Michael, and why are you firmly in Terry Smith's corner when it comes to the next head coaching position?
Well, there was a couple of messages I wanted the Nittany Nation to understand. Number one, I don't speak on this stuff a lot. So if I'm using airtime to not talk about football, I love the game of football. But if I'm using airtime in my job to address something, I'm very serious about it. And I thought that in this entire ordeal after James got fired, and the fact that we still don't have a head coach, and just watching the team, I thought it was a good time for my voice to be heard. And I had a chance to talk to Terry one-on-one for a production meeting. Well, it really wasn't a production meeting. It was before the production meeting last week. And, his face, his energy, the energy in the building, it was completely different than when I was there for the Oregon game. Completely different. When I got there for the Oregon game, Pat McAfee was doing a live show right beside Coach Franklin's office. It was hundreds of people moving around, this, that, and the third. And when we sat down with the guys, we sat down with Drew Aller and the quarterback and the other players. They just seemed so uptight. They seemed so anxious. They seemed they weren't having fun. You know what I'm saying? Or at least I didn't feel like they were having fun. And I understand when you're the number 2 team in the country, and there's a lot of expectations, and there's a lot of narratives going on around the program. And Ohio State won a national championship last year. Michigan won it the year before that. Traditionally, we're looked at as the third program in the Big Ten. And after those two won it, this is our year. We got a 5-star quarterback. He came back. We got a running game that came back. Everybody came back. This was supposed to be our year. So I understand the expectations, but you still got to be able to have fun. And I played for a guy, and I'm not just saying this because I'm who I'm on the call with, but I played for a guy that, yeah, he wanted discipline. Yeah, he wanted us to be stand-up citizens and do it success with honor, all of that. But he wanted us to have fun too. You know what I mean? This game is too hard if you're not having fun. And so I had a chance to talk to Terry. He expressed to me how much he wanted the job. And then when I went into the production meeting with the guys, with the kids, I just saw them smiling. I saw them having fun again. And, I feel like our university needs a ball coach. I think James Franklin was a tremendous program builder, as I said on the air. But a program builder and the corporate structure that he bought, to me, had kind of ran its course. We're looking to get over the next hump, and the next hump is national titles. The next hump is, every year competing for a national title, and knowing that we're one of the brands that's going to be standing there in the end. And I didn't necessarily view James as a ball coach. When I look at a ball coach, I think when issues come up in a football game, you have football answers. You're not just going to point at a coordinator and say, fix it. Well, the coordinator's trying. And again, I don't want to say this just because I'm on the phone, I'm on the call with, but I remember standing on the sideline in 2002, and Larry Johnson needed like 180 yards or something crazy, something sick in a game to get to 2000. And we had a play called A Special. It was a little belly flip. We faked the belly to the fullback. and then LJ would kind of jab step and be out in space and catch the ball, and then they got to tackle this big 230-pound guy. And I remember after I think we ran that play, the second play of the game, and after that second play, I remember Joe walking over to Fran Ganner and saying, "Franny, they can't tackle Larry. I'll tell you when to give it to somebody else." And I was like, "Oh my goodness." Larry had almost 200 yards, I think, before halftime. I could not believe what I saw. I think the only time somebody else got the ball was when Larry came out. You know what I'm saying? And that's a ball coach. That's football answers to football issues. And one thing that I thought Terry did a great job of when you saw as soon as he got the job, and this is no knock to Nicholas Singleton, Katron Allen got the ball more. Katron Allen was the lead back. Katron Allen should have been the lead back from week one. Nick is a changeup back. Nick can also be used in the game. And I'm not saying that he's not going to be an explosive runner and help the offense, but as far as just handing the ball to a guy that's going to continually beat up the defense over and over, that was Katron. Like anybody could have saw that, right? But apparently the change didn't happen until Terry got the job. One other thing, and then I'll let the next question go, but that I found out was the competitive periods, right? Before Terry became the head coach, there was one competitive period a week. One. I just thought that was crazy. I remember yelling at Joe like, man, can we just take off the pads once? Like I just want to, I just want to have a practice where I can feel good. Joe didn't care. He told me, he said, "Mike, I'm gonna make practice as hard as I possibly can so the game is easy. You'll thank me later." You know what I'm saying? And when I looked at this Penn State team, they looked a little soft early on. When Terry got the job, you go from one competitive period every week to four a week. And I think if you look at this team's play over the last few weeks, that physicality, that emotion, that ability to have fun, all of those things are starting to show. And so, yeah, I just wanted Nittany Nation, and I wanted people who may not be familiar with how we do it in Happy Valley to understand that Michael Robinson is supporting Terry Smith for the head coaching job.
Well, Micah, you mentioned the past and some of the things you brought up. In the era of NIL and in the era of transfer portal, for a fan base and for a program, the connection to the roots is so important, and you've highlighted that. In this era, when you talk about that connection to the past, how much does that mean to you and the guys that you played with to really have that acknowledged and also become part of that bridge into the future?
Yeah, it's vitally important. It's vitally important. So important that as soon as James got released, and I think the next week, I think the team played Iowa. I called that game. It was on our air at NBC, and it's crazy, man. I tried everything in my power to get a talking point, to get something from not Terry, but people above the football program that, because I know Nittany Nation's listening. I'm still waiting on those talking points. You know what I'm saying? And so that kind of was one of those things where you're like, we're here to help. You know what I'm saying? And so, I definitely felt a little bit of way about that. But it's important to me because, first of all, kids are making a lot of money. I get it, and I support kids making money. But I never wanted our university, because I chose to come to Penn State. I wasn't paid to come to Penn State. I actually could have went anywhere in the world, in the country, and I said I want to go there. So it means a little bit something. The money didn't bring me there, and so you start to understand that you don't want our university to be used just for players to get money, and coaches for that matter, because what I see is coaches around the country who are just using the Penn State brand, fans, all of our passion for football as a way to leverage where they are. So they just say, hey, the Penn State job's open. I may go there. They're never going there, but they use it to get more money at the job that they're in. You know what I'm saying? And that rubs me the wrong way. I described it as a stimulus package to coaches. I mean that's what we've been doing over the last over the last since James has been fired. And so it's very important that, to me at least, alums or Penn State people are involved in the search or in the process of choosing, because I'm not so sure the people that are making these choices, or everybody that's making these choices, are Penn Staters or know kind of the history and kind of how we got here. Again, I have to reiterate, Franklin was perfect for us coming out of what we came out of. We needed the organization, we needed that corporate structure. But man, I tell you one thing, man, to see Terry, to see that emotion, to see how he handles the team, and then talking to the players, and they love him, man. I talked to countless players in that locker room, and they don't want to transfer if Terry gets the job. Deny Dennis Sutton, he's going to be a top 40 pick. Why is he out there playing his heart out? Actually playing some of the best football he's played all year. Why? Terry Smith, coordinators, they're getting challenged now. That's what I found out. They're getting challenged now, not just to call better plays, but to, reduce some of the volume on defense, to not do as much motion and shifts on offense. Ball coaching, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, it's a breath of fresh air. I had a chance to talk to some of the players this week, man, and that's what a lot of them said. It's a breath of fresh air, and they love James for what he brought, but Terry's different. And what I've been hearing a lot over the last couple of days is, why would you hire somebody from James's staff, or he's never been a coordinator, or all of those things? And how does a black man working as a position coach, how does he ever become a head coach? Terry had told me he had kind of forgot, he kind of gave up that dream at one point, because there's just no way. You see what I'm saying? You talk about recruiting. Terry's the guy who brings most of the guys in. He owns Pennsylvania. This guy understands exactly how to get people to come to Penn State. And one of the other things I want people to know is, if I believe this is a destination job, but I'm a Penn Stater. I believe this is the end of the road job. You get this job, you coach, and you retire here. That's my thinking for when you hire a coach. Not a stepping stone type of a job. And I believe if there was somebody out there that looked at this job in that light, we'd have them already. I truly do. And so to me, the answer is Terry.
Hey, Mike, I'll tell you what, before I ask my question, I'm glad you said all those things. I've known Terry since he was a sophomore in high school and got to watch him develop and watch him grow. And heck, I knew him when he was 140 pounds. So that's a long time ago.
Crazy, man. That's crazy.
I know, but I saw the competitiveness the night I decided to offer him playing basketball. I mean, he's such a competitor. It's just unbelievable. But hey, let me ask you this question here. You had a great relationship with Coach Paterno. How much did that help you when you were the starting quarterback and the first guy off the bus, but also in the years that led up to that?
Oh, man. You guys know, y'all was on the team too. Yeah, me and Joe had our back and forth, Jay. You know this, you know.
We all did. We all had that. Come on, Mike.
We had our back and forths, man, you know.
And
I
your
remember,
mom
was not shy.
yeah, my mom, my stepdad, my brother. I mean, you know, we're gonna give Joe a piece of our mind and all of that. And you know what? One thing I can respect about Joe is, whenever my parents had an issue, or even I had an issue, he heard me out. Well, say what you gotta say, Mike. And I'm like, for real? And yeah, I would, you know, say what I gotta say, and he'd hear me out, and then he'd offer some perspective on the back end. Then he, you know, does that, you know, you good? You finished? You let it all out? Yeah, okay. And then he, you know, offered me a teachable moment. Joe affects my life still so much. I mean, and me and Spice talked about it when I was with him not too long ago. Anthony Adams. Just the fact that our 4 o'clock meeting started at 3:45, man. I
And you
mean,
were late.
and you were late if you were 3 at 3:46. I
Yeah,
mean, like
yeah,
really.
yeah.
I mean that's a real deal, but you got to be early, you got to be available, you got to be ready to catch your blessings. You got to be there. You know what I mean? And Joe was one of those guys that doing things the right way always was bigger than just him or me or anybody. It was doing it the right way, success with honor. So, Scrap, I don't even know if that truly answered your question.
No, no,
All
it
the
does.
all the
But
principles.
you did make me laugh, Mike, because I remember the time we had a meeting. Joe called a meeting at 4 o'clock. The meeting was over 2 minutes till 4. A player came
Yeah.
walking in, and Joe yelled at him for being late.
You're late. Get out of here.
So
I'm like,
he looked at
whoa,
me. I said, "Hey, you
he's not
just have
even
to know
late
with Coach
yet. But
Paterno, 10
hey,
minutes early might be 10 minutes late. You got to get here early."
exactly, man. But my kids hear all those Joeisms. That's what I call them here at home. And again, man, I wasn't paid to come to Penn State. You know what I'm saying? I had to go there for bigger reasons.
This is the most enjoyable thing I'm going to do all week is listening to you three guys tell these stories for sure. And but you know, one of the things that I really admire about you, and this isn't always the case, I had college age kids or all the way through, but is you saw the future while you were going through your football career as well and looked and found things that sparked you for the rest of your life. And I think that's how you came to broadcasting. What led you to have that foresight, and what were some of the preparation steps that you made to be ready for a broadcasting career that you're embarking on now?
Well, I love the game of football, man. I love everything about it. Running, blocking, tackling. I mean, everything about it. I love all the funky offenses that you see now, even though some of them are unsound. I like all the defenses that overstack Scrap. You know what I'm saying? I like all that
Here we
stuff,
go.
man. I like all that stuff. But you know what? I will, since I got you on, Scrap, me and Z talk about this all the time. AZ, your former All-American corner. We talk about this all the time. With all this exotic stuff going on with defenses, sometimes just call and play fast. Make the call and play fast, man. Like, let your
Couldn't agree
players
more
And
with you.
tackle.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just
Tackle,
people,
get
you know,
off blocks,
those
run
types
to the
of
ball, proper pursuit angles. It just comes down to some basic stuff. And if you do it well, you're going to win.
fundamentals, man.
Yep.
Like that's what it comes down to, man. But yeah, I don't forgot what I was talking about now. But
How you
these
got
guys,
started, how you were thinking about your career before you were done with football.
there you go. I'm excited talking to you guys. But I knew I loved the game of football, and I knew I wanted to be involved with it when my playing days was over. I just didn't know when those days would be high school, college, or pro. Um, and I think Jay, you know this. When I was like 8 or 9 years old, man, I had a coach. I was playing quarterback. We're at practice. It was the day before the first game. I'm super nervous. It's the day before the first game, right? And it was chaotic. And coaches yelling, kids yelling and playing, all those things. And I remember just snapping, like, shut up. You know what I'm saying? I'm crying. Like, man, we got a game. What are y'all doing? And my coach pulled me to the side and he said, Mike, what's up, man? You okay? And I'm like, yeah, man, but there's a lot of stuff going on. We got a game tomorrow. And he was like, yo, you got a gift. You got to be careful the music you listen to, the books you read, what you watch on TV, because you had my coaches listening, you had the kids listening, you had the parents listening, you had the team on the next field. They stopped and listened to what was going on. You got a gift for communicating. And I was like 8 or 9 years old. I was still kind of upset. I didn't really know what he was saying, but it stuck with me. And that's one of those things, being able to communicate and express yourself has always been something that I wanted. And I remember being with Jay and Guido, used to be in charge of our stadium, optics and all of those things, man. And he had the Penn State story. And I remember talking to Jay about it. And Jay's like, dude, do it, man. You're excellent at it. You know what I'm saying? Get your reps in. And it was at Penn State where I was like, I think, this is really what I want to do in life. And quiet as kept, man, when I finished playing, I remember it was like 2 or 3 months after we won the Super Bowl. I called one of my old professors and I said, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. I want to get into business. And within an hour, I had a list of 25 of the most powerful Penn Staters in media, their cell phone numbers, their emails, and 5 of them had already been teed up. They're waiting on my call. And that's why I came to Penn State, man. I didn't come for no paycheck or nothing like that. I came for those types of opportunities, seriously.
Good old Mike Poorman.
There you go.
Exactly.
That's my dog.
I know. So last one for you. You know, you've mentioned, you and I have talked, and you've mentioned how important it is for guys like you and women that are on camera like you to be able to write your own content. You know, in the era of AI, which you're in now, do you still find it so important to be able to write and think for yourself before you go on camera?
Absolutely, Jay. Absolutely, because it has to come from me. I do shoot a podcast with Beast Mode, the Get Got podcast. Like and subscribe if you guys, are out there listening. Um, and even when we do ad reads and things like that, man, it's like I gotta get the ad read the night before. I gotta make it mine. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to be controlled by those things, but what ends up happening is what I think happened in the business of media. COVID taught us, especially football. COVID showed us that people are going to digest this product no matter who's talking about it, which is, it's a good and bad thing. Because, see, I believe there should be even more football players, ex-football players on television talking, writing their own stuff, covering the game, being experts in the game. Because what ends up happening is, because these big companies say budget issues, the largest line item is the former player salary for these networks. And then what ends up happening is they know that they can get, and no disrespect, but an analytics person or somebody who never played and pay them a fraction of the price, and people are still gonna digest it. But see, I believe we do a disservice to the game. Because as people covering the game, we're supposed to be covering fundamentals. We're supposed to be covering the good parts of the game. We're supposed to be having a little honor in how we cover this game, not just saying the most outrageous things so that people can look at us so that we can take money. You know what I mean? And you wouldn't see MSNBC Business or Fox Business or CNN Money with anybody, a non-financial person, talking money. You wouldn't see that. So why do you see it in football? Why do you see it in sports? Why do you see so many non-sports people or non-football people covering the game, man? That sometimes gets disheartening. But the true fans, the true people who really know what's going on, I know a lot of them follow me. I appreciate it. But I try to just give it to them real because they deserve it. I got a lot of young people that follow me, guys, and they're looking to the older group as leaders to show them the way. I remember being at USC a couple of weeks ago. I saw one of my old teammates, Mike Williams, play wide receiver out in USC, and I'm like, dude, what's going on? He's like, Mike, the game is missing guys like you. We need more former players in coaching. We need more former players in the GM role. We need more former players everywhere. So I know that's a long answer to you guys' question, man, but I'm passionate about it. I do think that more former players, more guys, more people that know this game, like you guys, should be, elevated so that you can actually talk about this game and teach people something. That's the whole point.
Well, keep doing what you're doing, Mike, and don't let me get on that Get Got podcast because I don't want to tell Marshawn the truth about you when you were in college.
No, it's all good. Hey, Scrap, you should have seen Jay. He came to one of my camp weekends a few years ago.
I know.
Right, when I was
Did
on
he?
my big camp. Oh my God, you should have seen him with Beast Mode. It was hilarious. Jay, you need to tell
Was
him
he
off
in
camp.
Beast Mode?
Oh, and I said when I left, I said that guy is dumb like a fox. He is. He knows everything he's about to do and say. He's
Oh, yeah.
he is a gem, man. Yeah, and the two
Very
of you guys
calculated. He
together,
knows
forget
exactly
about it.
what's going on. Absolutely.
Michael, you could have a podcast about doing a podcast with Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, I can, man. I got a lot of stories about Beast Mode, man. And the crazy part is I always tell them, my kids watch the pod. You can't put me in these situations where I'm saying all this stuff. But he doesn't care, which I think makes it a really good pod, man. So
Probably should have saw it coming when he took over the cart driving it around at Cal when he was playing in college. But Hey, this has been a pleasure. We could go on forever, but Thanksgiving's coming. We got to get the turkey ready and all. Look, I know you've been wanting to come on. We've been wanting to have you. This is fantastic. Timing's perfect. I think a lot of people in the Penn State community appreciate all the thoughts and sentiments that you're sharing out there and getting the word out about it. And we certainly appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys. Anytime, holla at me, man. Y'all be good.